Hey guys, it's Miss Casson. I'm making a real quick video going over the assignment for today. It will be very similar to the one that we had on Monday for last week, in that you are reading a story in Ed. I know some of you are having trouble accessing Ed, so if you are having trouble, please email me and I can send you a link to a video of the story so that you'll still be able to read the story. And then you should have access to the Google document and be able to answer your questions. So please email me for the link if you are having trouble accessing Ed. So our first step for today is we are going to go to Ed. We are going to read the Storyteller's Candle. It is historical fiction, meaning that it takes place in a real time period. An event in this story may have actually happened, but some of the characters and some of the dialogue and events that happened are fiction. So when you're on Ed, please make sure you're on grade 3 because you will not be able to find it if you are not on grade 3. We are again going to module 7. Go ahead and click on my book down here. And it'll bring you to the first page of module 7, but we don't want the first page. So we're going to click contents and then go down here to the Storyteller's Candle and hit prepare to read. Okay, like I said before, the Storyteller's Candle is historical fiction. It's set in a real time and place in the past. It could include real people or fictional made-up characters or a little bit of both. Historical fiction includes characters who act, think, and speak like real people from the past. And authors of historical fiction tell the story through important events. So before we start reading, I want to walk through the questions that you'll be answering. That will kind of guide our thoughts and our note-taking and what we need to monitor and make sure we comprehend as we read. And then after we walk through the questions, we're going to do a quick book walk, and then the expectation is for you to read it to yourself, or if you're struggling, you can go ahead and have it read to you by pressing this play audio button like we do in class sometimes. But first, let's walk through the questions. There's only 3 like last time. Okay, it says answer the questions in the boxes below using text evidence and complete sentences. So if you're finding yourself not using words from the book to answer your questions, then you're not using text evidence. Or if you find yourself not using actual events from the book to support your answer, you're not using text evidence. I want to be able to read these and know that you read the book and you understood it, okay? I also want complete sentences. So if you find yourself saying something like sad, I think on the last assignment there was one asking about how the sky was different. Some of you put people ate from it, which may be true, but give me a little bit more. Or some people put face. They didn't even do a complete sentence. They just wrote face. The sky had a face. These are both totally correct, but they're not really complete, educated, thoughtful responses. Okay, so that's what I'm looking for. I know some of you probably want to get done quick because you're either overwhelmed or want to go do something else, but you are still getting grades and you are still getting an education, and you're just as responsible as I am to make sure that you learn. Okay, so let's always try our best. Let's get started. Number 1 says review page 170. What does the text tell you about how the family feels about life in New York? Okay, so when you're answering this one, you would write, the family feels blank about life in New York because, cannot type, that's a complete sentence, okay? And your answer, I want to be able to tell that you read. And it'll probably be on page 170. That's where you should be probably getting your text evidence. Okay. Reread pages 176 through 181. How do Hildemar, Santiago, and the people of their community feel about the story about the Spanish cockroach, Martina, and the mouse, Ratoncito Perez? Sorry if I mispronounced that. What details in the text support this? So for our, you may hear my cat meowing. He's laying next to me. For this one, my sentence stem could be, they feel blank about the cockroach and mouse because the text says, and that's where you would put your text evidence supporting your answer about how they feel. Okay. What details in the text show that the Three Kings Day is important to the Puerto Rican people? So for me, feel free to change these up, but if you just want to make things simple on yourself and you want to use these sentence stems, you are more than welcome to. It will not be on the assignment that you have, so you're going to need to make sure that you watch the video and remember what the sentence stems are. But use these as a guide. It'll help you check that you use text evidence and that you actually answered the question, because we could have text evidence in there but not really be answering the question with our own thoughts. Again, we could say the Three Kings Day is important to the Rican people because, oh my goodness, I cannot type today. I'm used to typing all the time and I haven't been typing as much. The Three Kings Day is important to the Puerto Rican people because the text states, and then this is where you would start writing your text evidence so that you find in the text supporting why the Three Kings Day is important to the Puerto Rican people. Okay, so we've gone through our questions. We've already almost answered half we have our sentence stem, so we have half of our sentence written. All we have to do is read and fill in the missing pieces, which you will be responsible for. So let's walk through the book, kind of make predictions as we walk through, and then that will be the end. Okay, already on this little front cover of the book right here, I see either a mother or a grandmother, and she's lighting a candle, and then there's two little girls watching her. I'm wondering if that has something to do with the Three Kings Day that we read about in the question. So let's keep looking. And then I'm also thinking about how this story is historical fiction, so I'm pretty sure Three Kings Day is an actual either holiday or celebration that maybe some of y'all are familiar with. Based on the cover, something that stood out to me is the words. It looks like words back behind there. And it almost looks like they're in a library because I see a lot of books lined up and they're all the same book. So either like a textbook, you know how in a classroom, all our textbooks will be lined up on the bookshelf and they're all the same. So maybe they're in a classroom. And then she has a book that says Perez Martina. I think that was the name of the cockroach in the question that we read. I'm going to go back and look real quick. Yeah, Spanish cockroach, Martina. Ooh. There's a subheading where it says introduction. And then it says something that stood out to me was during the early years of the Great Depression, and it has dates here. So during the Great Depression, it was a time where a lot of the world did not have very much money at all, and a lot of people didn't have jobs. So I'm assuming that this happened during the Great Depression. Ooh, there's a cat. It looks like they're sitting with a family eating dinner. I have a connection between this picture and the picture from Farmer Will Allen where they were all sitting and eating. It kind of just shows me that eating dinner with your family is important and that maybe I should eat dinner with my family, sit down and have a nice dinner with my family more often. I see some old photographs in the background. And I think this is a furnace where he's putting his hands next to it, like he's trying to keep warm. He doesn't look like he's opening it to put something in there. It just looks like he's trying to keep warm, kind of like you would by a fire. I see some Spanish words that are in italics. Remember, we saw that in another one. I can't remember the name of the book, but we saw that in another book that we read where all of the Spanish words or the words in a different language were italicized, making them stand out a little bit more so you would know that they were in a different language. Ooh, she looks like a teacher. So I think that was the lady on the cover of the book. And we said that maybe this is a school because those textbooks lined up are all the same. So our prediction there was right, I think. In the background, I don't know if any of you have had your eyes checked before, gone to the eye doctor or the normal doctor, but they'll have you stand a certain distance away and see how many letters that you can read. And they go from really, really big to really, really small, and they determine how well you can see based on that. You may have done it at the nurse's office this year. I see some more Spanish words. She has a cute little puppet. Here it looks like they are at the market. I really like their clothes. In the background of this picture, I see the words again. And I'm trying to get close enough to see it. It looks like addresses, like it's a phone book or address book. No, I'm thinking this is their mom, but I also see the puppet, so I'm a little bit confused there. We'll have to read to find out. Ooh, there's a lot going on in this page. It's like they're making scenery for a play. Like he's painting this. He has a hammer. There's palm trees. They have instruments in the background. So there's definitely going to be something entertaining that happens on this page, I believe. Ooh. There's some more instruments. There she is in her pretty dress, the palm trees. And then I see what looks to be three kings. So I'm assuming since that celebration was called a Three Kings Day, that they're celebrating that on this page. And either these are the actual three kings or they're kind of representing them for the celebration. And there's candy being tossed. Yeah, here's a bowl of candy and it's kind of being thrown. I wonder if there's any similar American holidays to this one. And then at the end here is the words in the background. This time it doesn't look like addresses. Let's see, I think that's the last page. Here we go. All right, guys, so your assignment for today is to walk through the questions again if you need to. Then start reading the Storyteller's Candle. Then go back and answer the questions and make sure you should have your own copy, but just make sure that if not, that you attach it and turn it in. A lot of you are clicking turn in and there's nothing attached, and I can't give a grade to nothing. So make sure that you are doing your work and turning it in, because I would hate for you to spend time working on something and then not be able to grade it because you haven't turned it in correctly. If you need help, please let me know. You can email me at mcasson@harmonytexas.org. Most of you probably have my email memorized from class, but if not, I will put it on the assignment as well. You may have noticed that we turned off the comments on, well, we didn't turn off the comments, excuse me. Well, we did turn off the comments, but we also were trying to clean up our stream so that you're not having to scroll through a whole bunch of things to find your assignments. So this assignment and other assignments from any class should be under the classwork tab. And if you need help with that, please let me know. All right. I will talk to y'all later. Have a good day. Bye-bye.